This weekend, the Washington Post was first to report that the president met with the new defense secretary, Christopher Miller. You'll recall that Christopher Miller was suddenly installed as defense secretary right after Biden won the election. It was this kind of a weird reaction to losing the election, right? Immediately fire the defense secretary and install a new guy. The president installed this sort of junior level guy named Christopher Miller to become the new acting defense secretary right after he lost the election. He fired Mark Esper and installed this new guy. Well, the president, apparently, according to the New York Times, met with the acting defense secretary, who he recently installed, Christopher Miller. He met with him at the White House on Friday. And then apparently, very soon thereafter, Miller, the acting defense secretary, called over to the NSA, the National Security Agency, the one at Fort Meade with an E on the end. He called the NSA and reportedly gave the head of the NSA an ultimatum that by Saturday at 6 p.m., the NSA had to install another Trump guy at the top of the NSA as the NSA's general counsel, their top lawyer. That ultimatum was issued after the Friday meeting between Miller and the president. The Trump guy had to be installed as the top lawyer at the NSA by 6 p.m. on Saturday. And the NSA apparently acceded to that. The head of the NSA reportedly didn't want this young Trump guy installed in this senior role at the NSA, had been sort of slow rolling it and pushing back on it. But they got this demand, ultimatum, you have to do it immediately. And apparently they went along with it. And so now, with literally 1 day left in Trump's presidency, on the last full day that Trump will be president unless he quits, that Trump guy, his name is Ellis, Michael Ellis, is due to be sworn in tomorrow as the top legal counsel at the National Security Agency. Why? Why do they want to force this on literally the last day that Trump is president? Why do the why do the wingnuts who are telling the president he can still stop Biden from being sworn in, he can still keep power by force somehow, why do the wingnuts who are talking to the president about this stuff think that putting Trump people in at the top of the NSA and the CIA at the last minute will somehow advance that cause? I don't know, but they are in fact going ahead with doing it, at least to the extent they can. And we now know tonight that House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is trying to stop it. Pelosi releasing this letter to the acting defense secretary today. It says, "Dear Acting Secretary Miller, I am writing to follow up on my phone conversation with you earlier today, during which I expressed my deep concern about the irregularities involved in the selection of the General Counsel of the National Security Administration. I ask that you immediately cease plans to improperly install Michael Ellis as the new NSA General Counsel. Additionally, with a copy of this letter to the Inspector General, I am also requesting an investigation into the circumstances of the NSA General Counsel selection process. I have serious concerns about your statement that this process was free from political interference. The circumstances and timing of the selection of Mr. Ellis, this 11th hour effort to push this placement in the last 3 days of this administration, Pelosi says, are highly suspect. Further, the efforts to install him or burrow him into a highly sensitive intelligence position 72 hours prior to the beginning of a new administration manifest a disturbing disregard for our national security. Therefore, this placement should not move forward. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Best regards, Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House." And the letter is, in fact, CC'd to the Inspector General, who she is asking to basically investigate Miller for whatever it is he is trying to do here, apparently at Trump's insistence. Pelosi is trying to stop it. The question is why they are trying to do it. At the very, very, very last moment, literally they're trying to swear this guy in at the top of NSA 24 hours before Biden is inaugurated. And you know, yes, at a surface level, that will stick Biden with the annoying job of having to find a way to fire that guy or you know, reassigning him to some very important job in Antarctica watching paint dry outside, or, you know, or something else that they could do with that guy. But think about where the impetus of this is coming from. What do the Trump folks think they can do with the military and the intelligence agencies in just these last few days? Why bother installing all these new ones right at the end before Biden gets in there? We will see. Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.